Well, welcome to this video series on Sunmarke School's brilliant internships. And I'm joined here by Darina, who's actually going to talk to us about an incredible experience she's had and great ambition that she has for the future. It was wonderful just talking with you just before we started filming here about your plans for the future. I'm going to come back to that, if I may, and just explore what kind of vision it is that you have and how the internship builds to it. But before we get to that, can you just explain for us what kind of internship did you choose and what was it that motivated you to do that?
So I worked at the Pullman Hotel downtown, and I chose that because I want to study business management, and I wanted to know like how HR, finance, and those departments work.
HR and finance, so they're the big beasts of business, aren't they? And I suppose in some respects they're not very glamorous. Why was it that you chose those particular elements? So some people in that Pullman environment might want to be on the front of desk and very focused on hospitality, but HR and finance, that's very much back office stuff. What is it that motivated you to want to understand that better?
Because I want to know like what goes on like behind the business, and I like math, for example, so like I like doing calculations.
So so if you're wanting to know what goes on behind the business, then I guess somewhere in your future plan there's a sense in which you want to put that knowledge to use and do your own thing. Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, that's the plan. Like I want to open like my own restaurant like by the beach, and then people can, go there like tourism,
Yeah, it sounds like an ideal kind of future to set your ambition on. So let's come back to the internship then. So you chose something that was going to be in hospitality. That makes sense with the vision that you've got. What kind of experience did you have? Describe for me so we can all imagine with you what it was like going into that space for the first time, which is clearly not school. It's clearly something very different. It's a different business. And how did it feel? What kind of emotions happened? What were the sights and sounds?
So it was obviously very different because you're surrounded by people that are way older than you, and you haven't seen them before, but they were all very friendly. Like they first introduced us and welcomed us to the hotel and showed us like what everyone will be doing where. And at first, I was a bit shy, but then when I got to know everyone, it was fun. And
so you're in this environment with people that are older than you. It's quite intimidating. What kind of roles did they give you to do? And it must be very difficult, I think, for a business offering an internship to give you a flavor of what the business is about, but only in a few days. How long did your internship last?
It was 4 days.
So 4 days, and in 4 days, they have to convey to you somehow what it's like to be in that business, but also to give you an experience of being in the business. How do you think they manage that? What did they do to make it real for you, rather than you just feel like a tourist in their business?
So I sat down with one of the HR employees, and we were in the office and we were working on the the profiles for the new employers, because they were opening a new restaurant in the hotel.
Okay.
And we were just she was showing me like how to choose like the employees had to do tests and etc. to see which one fits in to what role.
Was there an aspect of HR that that you were surprised by, or that you didn't realize this is what would happen? Or you're kind of opening up the bonnet of the car and looking at the engine, aren't you? Seeing how this thing works. Was there some sense in which it was intriguing for you to see how HR actually works?
Yeah, I didn't know that the HR had this many responsibilities and roles. Like, we were basically going around the whole hotel chasing other employees for like tasks they needed to do. They had to sign like passport papers if they wanted to like travel, and like it was actually a very hard job.
HR is a lot about compliance, isn't it? So making sure that the employer is safe because all the employees have signed all the things they need to do. So it's great that they gave you a sense of that. Was HR the only space that you worked with?
I also worked close with finance because, the employees has to be paid their salaries and etc. So we had to go and work with finance.
How was that? Compare and contrast those two experiences for me. If we said to you, look, we're going to give you a job now, it's one of these two. Which one would you go for and why?
I think I would go for HR because you get to like speak to more people, and I like being social. Like I feel like finance is more you just sit in the office and just
crunch those numbers, but you do like crunching numbers. So
I do like doing that too. But HR, since it also works with finance, then you can just do both.
Yeah. So if you had to replay the experience and based on what happened at Pullman and the experiences you had there, is there anything that you would do differently? Would you approach it differently or explore other things that perhaps you didn't get to explore?
Yeah, I also wanted to explore marketing, but I think there was no place for that available. So next time, like if I had the opportunity, I would want to market.
So you've got that plan of building a portfolio of internship experiences, all to inform ultimately your own business enterprise. I think that's brilliant, and I have no doubt that you're going to be a very successful businesswoman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us. I'm glad that you had such a great experience, and congratulations.
Thank you.